Hey guys, Shane here. Just gonna do a real quick video with the recipe for my banana bread that I've been using for the last couple years, incorporating Nutrex's muscle infusion protein. Now I've tried this with the Vanilla Beast and the Chocolate Monster. I have not used the Cookie Madness because, quite frankly, Cookie Madness and banana bread just doesn't seem like a tasteful thing to me. I could be wrong though. Anyhow, first thing I'm going to do is kind of run down the description of the recipe for you, and then I'll explain to you where I've made some changes in it for myself, and you might want to make some changes for you or make some other substitutes and whatnot. But first thing is you're going to want to bake it at 350 degrees for about 55 minutes. I prefer using a bundt pan like this, or if you don't have a bundt pan, you can use little cookie pans like this, or cookie sheets, or bread loaf sheets, whatever you have. Just whatever you need to have to make individual meal size portions. First thing you're going to need is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 2 beaten eggs, 1.5 cup mashed bananas or 5 medium ones, 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of cooking oil or melted butter or margarine, and 1/4 cup chopped walnuts. And the recipe calls for an optional of streusel nut topping. I don't even know what that is, so I don't even have it in mind. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is combine the flour, the baking powder, basically all of the dry ingredients is what they're called. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that first. Sorry you're not going to see my face in this next portion, but you probably don't really want to keep looking at my face that much longer than you already have had to. So anyhow, the first thing we're going to do is combine the flour. Like again, it said it calls for 2 cups of flour, but what I've gone ahead and done is I've mixed 1 cup of flour and I substituted another cup of the flour for the Vanilla Beast new protein by Nutrex, and 1 cup is equivalent to about 2.5 scoops of your whey protein. So we're just going to pour all that in there, start the foundation. Then it calls for the baking powder, and again that's 1.5 teaspoons of the baking powder. So we're just going to pour all that in there. Then we're going to go with the baking soda, and that is 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Then it calls for the cinnamon, and that is 1/4 cup teaspoon, or excuse me, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And you can obviously add more if you like cinnamon or not add it at all. And then 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. Just throw that in there like so. And then it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I personally don't add any salt into it. So all you want to do is just go ahead and mix it up right quickly. Again, you're just mixing all your dry ingredients. Like so. And the recipe says to make like a big old well kind of a thing, because the next set we're going to be adding in what they call the wet ingredients, and the book says to pour it in the middle and go from there. So the next set that we're going to be doing is, like I said, the wet ingredients. Now in the recipe it calls for 1.5 cups of mashed bananas. Here is 3 cups, and the reason why is because I just love bananas. Bananas are a great source of potassium. This has been one of my favorite foods to eat after workout, only because of the few other things that I put into it, and plus you have the protein supplement going in, or the protein factor, plus you have the potassium, so you're not doing too much damage to your muscles, and it gives your muscles some food back into the system. Now for the 2 beaten eggs, I've substituted it with 6 tablespoons of egg whites, and it works all the same. Believe it or not, it will taste just fine. As well as the sugar, Now for the sugar aspect, I do not use regular sugar. I actually use stevia. Now there's been some talk that I've heard and read that stevia is carcinogenic, which is cancer causing. I don't know if that's true or not, but I still use it. And with stevia, it's a 1-for-1 ratio. So for every 1 cup of regular all-purpose sugar, you're just going to use stevia. So there's 1 cup of stevia, and we mix in the oil. Now I've actually switched the oil for extra virgin olive oil, and that tends to give it a little bit of a healthier boost to it. And as well, you're not getting all the fats from the margarine, although recent studies have shown that it's not as all bad as we were taught it was. So now it says that we mix this in together. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through it right quickly, get it all nice and soupy gooey, making sure you're cleaning up all the sides from the powders, i.e. your stevia and whatnot. And then we mix it in with the flour mixture. Or, excuse me, the flour and the protein. So do like so. Now, before I actually do all of the mixing, I've actually added 1 cup and just a little bit over a cup of crushed almonds, and 4 tablespoons of peanut butter, creamy style. A little bit more extra added protein to it, and the peanut butter helps give it a great taste on top of everything else of all the other goodness that's in it. So I'm going to throw the almonds and the peanut butter in there. Then you just mix it up nice and good. Basically, you're just looking for a lumpy consistency. You're not going to be completely soluble. It's not going to be completely watered down and liquidized. I'll tell you what though, this is about one of my favorite meals, as a snack rather, to have, whether it be throughout the course of the day as a snack, or like I said earlier, post-workout. Have this with some water, or if you're taking your Volugrows or other amino acids prior workout or post, depending on what you decide to use at what duration, or like if you're taking a creatine supplement. It turns it into a really nice meal. Or if you want some extra added protein, go ahead and just take it with your scoop or 2, whatever is your personal preference, post-workout protein meal or protein drink. Excuse me, as you can see I've got meal on the brain. So voila! That is the mixture. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit lumpy, mostly just because of the bananas and whatnot. And do a little taste test of the goodness. I should move that back. Then what you want to do is you got to spray your pan, and around here we shop high and falutin style. We go to Walmart and get the generics. On this it's a 1/4 second spray, and you got no calories and no nothing, but I just do little bursts, making sure I get each and individual area nice and covered, like so. Then we just pour all of this wholesome goodness right into the bottom of the pan, or all the way over the pan and all the way around. Now, one thing I noticed that when I made this with the chocolate monster protein, the end result was a little bit darker because of the protein, the dark chocolate protein in the Chocolate Monster versus the white look of the Vanilla Beast. And so, but the taste, it will have a chocolate taste to it a little bit more. And this one just has a vanilla taste to it, as well as all the bananas and stuff. So here we go. We're going to get ready to throw it in the oven. Like I said, 350 degrees for about 50-55 minutes. Depending on your oven and how it cooks, you might want to start checking it at about 40 minutes or so. And basically, for any of those of you who have cooked in the past, you know, kind of like making a fudge brownies or whatever, you just want to stick a toothpick in the middle, see if it comes out clean. But for now, while this is cooking, I'm going to go hit up some cardio, and when it comes back, we'll show you what it looks like. Yeah. Oh, and hey, Dave or John, if you guys are watching this, either one of you, y'all still need to get a biscuits and gravy flavored protein. I'm just saying, it's my suggestion. See you guys in a bit. Bye. Alright guys, just got done with my cardio. And miraculously at the same time, the banana peanut butter muscle infusion protein bread, whatever you want to call it, was done. So what we do now from the bun cake is you just put a pan on it, cover up the hole, and turn it upside down onto a different surface. Kind of wiggle it out if it wants to come out. There you are. Oh yeah, buddy. That's good cooking right there. And still kind of warm, because like I said, it just came out of the oven. Now what I do is I cut a slice on each of the ridges, and that makes a damn good portion size. And there you go. You can see inside of it maybe, but you still got some of the chunks of the banana. I wish I could describe the smell for you. Really cinnamony. You can smell a hint of the nutmeg. And you just let this cool off for about a half hour to an hour and chow down. It keeps pretty good for about 4 or 5 days per loaf, per serving. I like to use what we call redneck Tupperware, old country crock buttered bowls or whatever you got, just to keep the bread fresh. You can even wrap it up in aluminum foil, and that'll keep it up pretty good. Like I said, spray a little bit of I can't believe it's not butter or any kind of spread on it. Give it a little bit of taste to it, and you're rocking out. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I plan on doing some other meals that I've done with Nutrex products, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them on this blog, video, vlog, whatever they call it nowadays. And yeah, enjoy it, happy eating, and you guys are all winners. And Dave and John, I'm serious, biscuits and gravy protein, get her done.